Good afternoon. My name is Daniela Guichard, and this is for my class of Introduction to Communication. I'm going to talk about the racial inequalities in mass incarceration in the United States. Think about this. Black Americans are just 13% of the population of the United States, but they account for more than 38% of the prison population. This disparity is not just a statistics. This reveals a systematic problem that not just affect the individuals but also their families and our entire community. Understanding the causes and the consequences provide us with a broader perspective on social and legal inequalities, which is critical for fostering a more equitable society. I want to talk about the roots of all these problems. The regions of racial disparities in incarceration in the United States trace back to the post slavery era. After the abolition of slavery, laws such as Black Codes and Jim Crow were enacted to restrict the freedoms of African Americans. According to Michelle Alexander in the new Jim Crow, these laws serve to reinforce racial hierarchies, laying the groundwork for modern mass incarceration. And in more recent history, let's talk about the war on drugs in the 80s. These amplified these disparities. Policies during this period of time disproportionately target minority communities, resulting in increased arrests and harsher sentences. The U.S. Sentencing Commission report that Black Americans were far more likely to be arrested and sentenced for drug-related offenses despite similar rates of drug use across other racial groups. Also, the law enforcement practices such as racial profiling or over-policing in minority neighborhoods have had significant impacts. Smith found that black drivers are 20% more likely to be stopped by police than white drivers, even when controlling for other variables. These practices increase the likelihood of arrest and perpetuate a systemic problem. Our judicial sentencing system often reflects racial bias too. Data from the U.S. Sentencing Commission indicates that black defendants frequently receive longer sentences for similar crimes compared to their white counterparts. These discrepancies highlight how systemic inequalities are reinforced at multiple levels of the justice system. How we can address these problems? One critical step is policy reform. Sentencing reforms and the decriminalization of minor offenses have already shown promise in reducing incarceration rates. For instance, Jacobson highlighted how Nebraska implemented a community correction system in 2003. This system provides alternatives to incarceration, significantly curbing mass incarceration rates in the states. Another solution is investing in community development. Programs like the Center for Employment Opportunities in New York, as discussed by Jacobson, provide job training and placement services for individuals re-entering society after incarceration. These programs have successfully reduced recidivism by addressing the socioeconomic conditions that contribute to crime. Additionally, after school programs like mentorship have proven effective in keeping at risk youth out of the criminal justice system, emphasizing the importance of preventive measures. In conclusion, racial inequality in incarceration stems from a complex interplay of historical practices, systemic biases, and socioeconomic factors. However, understanding these elements equips us to advocate for meaningful reform. By addressing the root causes and implementing solutions like sentencing reforms and community investments, we can take tangible steps towards reducing racial disparities in incarceration. Thank you.